Hi everyone, hope I'm audible. In this particular video, we are going to discuss how to find legal principle. Now, most of the times the rule says that आपको जो भी principle derive करना रहता है उसमें आपको court पहली चीज़ जो कुछ भी कह रहा है first things first, whatever the court is stating that becomes the principle. कहीं पे अगर जज का ओपिनियन लिखा हुआ है कि कोई जज ने कहा या कोई वर्ड है जैसे जज हेल्ड, ठीक है, या ऐसे लिखा रहा है कि बेंच सेड या बेंच स्टेटेड, तो ये चीज़ें जो होती हैं ये इंडिकेट करती हैं कि इसके बीच में जो भी लाइन लिखी गई है वो क्या है, लीगल प्रिंसिपल है। और यहाँ मान लीजिए कहीं पे लिखा रहा है द वर्डिक्ट अपहेल्ड, ऐसा वर्ड लिखा रहा है द वर्डिक्ट अपहेल्ड या द वर्डिक्ट रूल्ड, समथिंग लाइक दैट, पहली चीज़। दूसरा, जहाँ कहीं भी गवर्नमेंट लिखा रहे, ठीक है, गवर्नमेंट, या मान लीजिए कोई एक स्टैट्यूटरी बॉडी मेंशन कर दी जिसने कहा स्टैट्यूटरी बॉडी अंडर सम, लिखा है स्टैट्यूटरी बॉडी अंडर सम रूल्स, राइट, या कहीं पे किसी मिनिस्ट्री का ऑर्डर है, किसी मिनिस्ट्री का ऑर्डर है, ठीक है। तो ये सभी चीज़ें क्या हो जाती हैं, जो भी कुछ लिखा हुआ है मिनिस्ट्री के ऑर्डर में, तो आप इन्हीं को किस तरीके से ट्रीट करते हैं, लीगल प्रिंसिपल्स के तौर पे ट्रीट करते हैं, लीगल प्रिंसिपल्स। अब सामने हमारे एक पैसेज है 2023 का, ये पेपर है यूजी का, राइट। और इसमें आपको इम्पॉर्टेंट पार्ट जो सबसे पहले देखना है कि पैसेज को हम पढ़ते हैं। लिखा है कि ट्विटर्स लॉयर ऑन October 27 said before the Karnataka High Court that union government orders to block certain Twitter handles and posts must contain reasons for the same that can be communicated to users of microblogging site. He said this applies to all blocking orders sent to social media platforms. The lawyer representing Twitter said that reasons for the blocking order must be provided to users so they can determine whether or not they want to challenge the orders. Now, notice what we are highlighting particularly here. Whatever we are highlighting here is the principle, prima facie. Moving to the next part. So before we begin with the question, reading the passage. So I just read the first paragraph. Now I'm coming back to identify what exactly is the question demanding. Now, how to quickly identify what the question is demanding, right? So the very first thing is to catch for the keywords. Now you will find that there is this word union government here. There is this social media platform, right? Then you will find something has been found original. He sends an order to Unreal. Now who is he? So he is some person who is an officer of the union government. So the very first things that we identify in this particular question is what are the powers of the union government? That is where we need to focus. The post must be blocked. So there is this blocking of the posts that we identify. And Sunil had not provided a clear detailed reason for blocking the post. Now we need to understand wherever this word detailed reason is coming in the situation. Coming to the next question, again we will find that there is this post on social media, some highly sensitive information about country's defense policies. Again, he issues an order to Unreal that the post must be blocked. All of this, right? Now, the order also says that the Unreal should not let anyone know about the blocking order. Unreal claims that this order is invalid. Again, the validity of order is in question. Now, Unreal claims that Sunil has broken the law by making these statements in the letter. So, what is this letter? If you do not comply with my blocking orders, then I will be forced to initiate criminal proceedings. Sunil sends Unreal a third blocking order. Again, blocking order is there. Fourth blocking order is there, and all of this. So, from these five scenarios, we understand that fifth question is also similar to this. Fifth blocking order is there. So, from this particular quickly analyzing the situation, we realize that blocking orders has to be identified. Now coming back, when we have read the context of the particular principle, now coming to the second part, you will find challenging the blocking orders. Twitter's July 5 petition contended. So what they stated is written as contended. Several blocking orders demonstrate excessive use of powers and are disproportionate. Such orders can only be issued by the union government and not the state governments, which increases the danger of such abuse. Twitter also claimed that the Ministry of Electronics and Information Technology had sent it a letter threatening consequences for failing to comply with the blocking orders, such as criminal proceedings against the company's chief compliance officer and the stripping away of Twitter's safe harbor immunity. otherwise available to social media platforms under Section 79 of IT Act. Note that the government has the power to strip away such safe harbor immunity under the IT Act. This is what we are going to identify. The government has the power to strip away safe harbor immunity. Now, just understand this particular thing. See that where the CLAT consortium says that general legal awareness should be there. General legal awareness, again, I would say you must have read this particular thing in the Hindu explainers. You must have read in the Hindu explainers. You must have read in this the editorials that were there that a lot of time IT Act and social media rules, social media intermediary rules is there. Intermediary rules were asked. Was there in the news, is still there in the news, 2023. Wherever you have studied Digital India Act, go today and search internet. Digital India Act is proposed, right? This particular thing is again being discussed. Now you must have seen these passages coming in your mocks precisely this year. So that they are of no good use because safe harbor provision, the question appearing from this particular area was a very gray area. Faculties, none of the coaching institutions had anticipated back then in 2023 when the paper was conducted. So right now you are getting this because this already has been asked in CLAT 2023. Now this is the miscellaneous part. So where the legal awareness is coming into picture that Cloud Consortium believes is that you need to understand what is the safe harbor immunity. See, however, I would say one thing. You don't know the meaning of the word safe harbor immunity, you are getting perplexed. But we read 5 questions before this and we identified that none of these questions had anything associated with safe harbor immunity, right? But only the part that you need to remember is that the government has the power to do something. This particular immunity is there, some sort of immunity is there with respect to social media apps. The government has the power to take away this particular immunity under IT Act. Now this becomes the legal principle, that's it. So if you are aware about the safe harbor immunity, it will help you in processing the information given in the passage. But let us say you do not know about what a safe harbor immunity is. So keep it as it is. Just remember that the government has the power to take away certain immunity, safe immunity, which these social media apps have, right? Further, in a previous hearing, Twitter lawyers said that the company was asked to block entire accounts, although Section 69A, although it starts with the word although. Section 69A of the IT Act does not permit blocking of the whole account. It only permits the blocking of information or a particular tweet or post. It argued that union government's direction to block whole accounts will affect its business, aiding that several prominent persons have their accounts on the platform. Now, this is the second principle that is coming with respect to this. Now, please remember, wherever the situations had appeared, we had only read that there are certain blocking orders being issued. There are certain blocking orders being issued, right? So, in the first part, he has stated before the court that the blocking orders must contain reasons for the same that can be communicated to the users of the site. Now, this becomes one principle that we had to apply. Then this applies to the all blocking orders to social media platforms. Then the reasons for the blocking order must be provided to users so that they can determine whether to challenge or not. Challenging the blocking orders, he also stated that these orders can only be issued by the union government and not the state governments. Now he cannot basically threaten such as criminal proceedings against the company's chief compliance officer and the stripping of IT's hardware, otherwise available to social media platforms. So safe harbor immunity is there with social media and the government can take it. Section 69A of the IT Act does not allow the blocking of the entire account, but only the post, right? Now let us look at the situation number 1. So please understand this. Now to be able to identify all of this, you will have to read the situation first in a quick glance of 30 seconds, very fast. You have to first read the first part of the paragraph to understand, okay, what is the context, very fast in the next 30 to 40 seconds. Now, to understand the entire passage, it will cost you somewhere around 2.5 minutes, and you might have to read it twice or maybe thrice. So this particular passage, you will understand, look at the length of this passage, it's very small, right? But it's all the more very complicated because each line has a different dimension. So it will take somewhere around, let us say, 3 minutes at max. So you have invested 4 minutes in ascertaining the areas, dimensions, principles of the passage. This is where you need to spend your time. And you cannot come to this without looking at the options. I mean, the situations that are there, because you exactly have to focus wherever blocking orders are coming into picture, or the power to block anything or something is coming into picture. Let us move to the first situation. The first situation is that Sunil is a high ranking officer of the union government. Right. While scrolling through his timeline on social media platform, he notices some post by Sachin, who is a private businessman, which he finds objectionable. Sunil is the government basically. He sends an order to Unreal, the company that owns the social media platform, that the posts must be blocked as they may bring disrepute to India. Now he has given this particular order. Along with this, there is this reason that this particular post, as per the officer of the union government, bringing disrepute to India. Unreal states that Sunil has not provided a clear, detailed reasoning for blocking the posts. So the order is not valid. Now just understand, in the passage, it was only mentioned that reasons has to be there. What reasons are valid? What reasons are valid? What reasons are valid or invalid are not known. So we just have to understand that the reasoning is there. Now the blocking order is valid since Sunil found the post objectionable. The blocking order is valid. The blocking order is valid. Sunil reasons are vague. Such an order is violative of the fundamental right. Now, fundamental right to freedom of speech and expression is out of context here. Nowhere this particular thing has been mentioned. So you will not apply D as a logic. Now you just have to understand, no, the blocking order is valid. The blocking order is valid. Sunil reasons are vague. Sunil is a government officer. We cannot question the reasoning of the order. Why? Because the passage does not mentions anywhere as to what would be a valid reason of the government or what would not be a valid reason of the government. This is not discussed in the passage. Whether the reasons has to be stated or not, that's it. The reasons has to be stated. This is what is mentioned in the passage. The quality of the reasons is not mentioned in the passage. Nowhere we can ascertain this, whether the Sunil reasons were justified or vague or more detail was required or not. Right? So coming back to A and B, what do you think? Which option? Now C and D have been eliminated. We are left with A and B, isn't it? Now, in this particular thing, you need to simply understand which is more reasonable as per the passage. Since Sunil found the post objectionable or the blocking order valid, since Sunil had provided reasons for blocking the post, B is more reasonable because it is simply relating to the position mentioned in the passage or the principle mentioned in the passage. So reasons has to be there, and that is why we'll mark B, and B would be the correct answer. Question number 82. Some days later, Sunil notices another post from Sachin on Unreal social media platform. This post contains some highly sensitive information about the country's defense policies. Now we know that defense of the country is involved. He issues an order to Unreal. The post must be blocked since it divulges government's confidential information. So reason is also there along with the order. Reason is also there. The order also says that the Unreal should not let anyone know about the blotting order. No knowledge, yeah, no info to users. No info to users is again first part of the passage. If you will go back, first part of the passage, it was clearly written that the users also have to be told about the reasons. Where, let me quickly take you to that part of the passage where it was written. Where it is written, you will find, see, I had already highlighted this particular part. I have highlighted this particular area that they can determine whether or not they want to challenge the orders. Reasons for the blocking order must be provided to the users. So the moment they have stated that it should not be provided to anybody else, the knowledge is not to be given to anybody else कि blocking order आया था, or the post was ordered to be deleted since it relates to the secret information. This is not a valid order. Unreal claims that this order is invalid. What do you think? Is Unreal right? So 3 parts had to be there. The reason has to be there. The reason should be communicated to be there. But it was stated that देखो communication किसको दिया? Unreal को दिया, यानी app को दिया. लेकिन अकाउंट ओनर को कोई इन्फॉर्मेशन नहीं है, तो अकाउंट ओनर को भी तो इन्फॉर्मेशन देंगे, नहीं दिया तो आपने वॉयलेशन किया। यस सिंस इट डिड नॉट प्रोवाइड, अनरियल सही है कि नहीं है, अनरियल के कंटेक्स्ट में अनरियल ने कहा कि ऑर्डर इनवैलिड है, तो अनरियल सही है या अनरियल नहीं है, तो नहीं, नो वाला तो चीज़ एलिमिनेट हो जाएगा, राइट। यस सिंस इट डिड नॉट प्रोवाइड एनी रीजंस दैट कुड बी कम्युनिकेटेड टू द यूजर्स, एग्जैक्टली देखिए, पिन पॉइंटेड प्रॉब्लम, पिन पॉइंटेड आंसर, एंड दिस विल बी अ वैलिड आंसर ए। We don't have to even deep dive into why not B, why not C, why not D. Think about it, what I'm trying to tell you. Pause the video, go back again, listen from this statement again, come back to the passage, read this particular line that I'm highlighting, ये वाली line, ट्विटर ने कोर्ट में कहा ये, ठीक है। तो ये चीज़ जो है, क्योंकि ट्विटर अगर कोर्ट में कह रहा है तो इसका मतलब एज पर द लॉ कह रहा होगा, बिकॉज आपको पैसेज ने ये नहीं बताया कि ट्विटर जो कह रहा है वो एज पर द लॉ है कि नहीं है, तो हम प्रिजम्पशन लेके चलेंगे कि ये लॉ हो सकता है ट्विटर अगर कह रहा है, तो अदरवाइज सिचुएशन को सॉल्व ही नहीं कर पाएंगे, राइट। देन लुक एट 83, सुनील सेंड्स अनरियल तीसरा ब्लॉकिंग ऑर्डर, अनरियल क्लेम्स दैट दिस ऑर्डर टू वॉज इनवैलिड, upset with Unreal for claiming that all his blocking orders were invalid, Sunil sends him a letter in which he says, if you do not comply with my blocking orders, then I will be forced to initiate criminal proceedings against you and cancel your safe harbor immunity. The government is saying to Unreal that they might cancel safe harbor immunity. Unreal claims Sunil has broken the law by making these statements in the letter. Now, come back to the position where I told you that whether you know about the safe harbor immunity or not. Your answer was, sir, I have no idea about safe harbor immunity. Then I asked you to only focus that the government has the power to take away safe harbor immunity. In this particular scenario, Sunil is threatening Unreal to take away the safe harbor immunity. Can he do so? Yes, absolutely, he can do so. Is Unreal right? Now Unreal ने has stated that Sunil has broken the orders and फालतू की चीज़ें कह रहा है, क्या Unreal सही है यहाँ पे? Unreal सही नहीं है, Unreal सही yes, since making such threats amounts to intimidation, this is how we will eliminate it, out of context. Why out of context, sir? Because we do not know what is the meaning of the word criminal intimidation, the passage is silent about it. B, no, since Sunil had issued blocking orders in the past as well, and Unreal should have complied with the orders without questioning them. This is against the principle mentioned in the passage as well as out of context. Yes, since Sunil did not have the power to cancel Unreal's safe harbor immunity, did not have the power, out. This is against the passage. C is against the passage, information given in the passage. C is also eliminated. Since the IT Act does not forbid Sunil from doing so, which means that IT Act allows Sunil to do so as per the passage. So D becomes the reasonable choice. Question number 84. Then the fourth blocking order that they receive from Sunil, Unreal blocks Sachin's account since his posts were seen as increasingly objectionable by the government. Sachin asks Unreal to share the reasons for the blocking order, which they do. Yet Sachin claims the blocking order is invalid. Is he right? Now Sachin का account block कर दिया, right? Blocks Sachin's account since his posts were increasingly objectionable to the government. Sachin has asked Unreal to share the reasons for the blocking order, which they do. Unreal ने blocking order के reasons भी बता दिए. Yet Sachin claims the blocking order is invalid. Now blocking order is there, that's correct. But blocking order is given with respect to account. And again, this section 69A wala part will come into picture, come to information part, where you will find section 69A of the IT Act does not permit blocking of the whole account. It only permits the blocking of information. So the blocking of the entire account is untenable, unsustainable, right? Now Sachin claims the blocking order is invalid. Sachin is apparently correct. Sunil was clearly targeting Sachin and misusing his powers. This is your opinion. Nobody gives a fuck about your opinion here. No, since Unreal had shared the reasons for the blocking order with Sachin. So reasons for the blocking order is there, but the blocking order per se is for the account which is not suitable. So B will be eliminated, not completely applicable. Yes, since section 69A of the IT only permits blocking information on a particular post, but not the whole account. Now C is directly reiterating what the passage is saying. No, since his posts were seen as increasingly objectionable by the government, again, reiteration of this situation. So this is something you remember. Whichever is reiteration of the situation, जो भी situation में दिया गया वो वही statement वापस से लिखा है, वो सही नहीं होता है। रीइटरेशन ऑफ इंफॉर्मेशन इन द पैसेज, रीइटरेशन ऑफ इंफॉर्मेशन इन द पैसेज वाले जो स्टेटमेंट्स होते हैं वो सही होते हैं। ये शॉर्टकट्स हैं जो बच्चों को हमेशा याद रखने चाहिए। यानी कि सिंपली पॉइंट क्या है, रीइटरेशन का मतलब ये है कि पैसेज में दिया गया इंफॉर्मेशन जिस स्टेटमेंट में रिफ्लेक्ट हो रहा है वो स्टेटमेंट सही होगा। इंफॉर्मेशन जो कि सिचुएशन में दी गई है वही ऑप्शन में अगर लिखी हो तो वो इनवैलिड हो जाएगी। नहीं समझ में आया आपको? जैसे यहाँ पे सिचुएशन में ही दिया हुआ था, क्या दिया हुआ था कि जो पोस्ट्स हैं वो गवर्नमेंट को ऑब्जेक्शनेबल लग रहे हैं। ऑप्शन डी में क्या दिया हुआ है? ऑप्शन डी में दिया हुआ है सिंस हिज पोस्ट वर सीन एज इंक्रीजिंगली ऑब्जेक्शनेबल बाय द गवर्नमेंट। तो सिचुएशन का दिया गया आंसर अपने आप स्टेटमेंट गलत होता है, ये प्रिंसिपल है। पर पैसेज में दिया गया 69A जो है पैसेज में दिया गया है, इसीलिए सी सही है। ऐसे आप चीज़ों को फिल्टर करना अगर सीख गए क्लैट में तो लीगल प्रिंसिपल्स में बहुत हद तक हम ऑप्शन का स्ट्रक्चरिंग देख के बता देते हैं कि ये ऑप्शन गलत है। अब ये ट्रिक ऑफ द ट्रेड है, बहुत ज़्यादा प्रैक्टिस पे, एक्सट्रीम लेवल ऑफ प्रैक्टिस पे बच्चे ये लेवल रीच कर जाते हैं। अगेन आपको पिन पॉइंटेडली पास्ट ईयर पेपर से ही बता रहा हूँ। देखिए लास्ट वाला क्वेश्चन काफ़ी टेक्निकल था, लेकिन इतना भी टेक्निकल नहीं है, काफ़ी इजीली हम इसको सॉल्व कर सकते हैं। जैसे सुनील सेंड्स अनरियल अ फिफ्थ ब्लॉकिंग ऑर्डर विच सेज दैट several of Sachin's latest posts must be blocked. The blocking order sets out several reasons why the post should be blocked, but Unreal does not find them satisfactory. Rather than take on another fight with a government official, Unreal blocks the posts and gives Sachin what it thinks is a better set of reasons for blocking the posts. Unreal gives them better reasons. When Sachin finds out, he claims that this was wrong on Unreal's part and that the blocking order was inappropriate. Which of the following is most accurate? Now, just understand the accuracy, whether blocking order should be valid or invalid, can we ascertain from the information in the passage? We cannot ascertain which type of blocking order is valid and which is not. The government has the reason, the government has the power to issue a blocking order only with respect to the post, not with the account. The government has to provide reasons to the social media app as well as the users. Now, in this particular part, whether social media app can create their own reasons and provide it to the user, that particular scene is also not mentioned. So, whatever Unreal did as per the limited premise of the passage or the principle mentioned in the passage is considered to be inappropriate. And the blocking orders were given with set of reasons. We do not know whether the reasons were valid or good or in the eyes of law or not. So the blocking order was completely valid, but Unreal's actions were inappropriate. You look at the option A, you get the answer. There is no reason to eliminate B, C, and D because it's a direct question. So three things you just had to identify in the passage. Even if you do not know about the safe harbor provision, it had made no difference with respect to the application. That is what I completely all the time try to explain to my students, that CLAT consortium will not keep legal passages with an open end. It will give you a close end. Look, you just have to look into the situation that is given and apply it with respect to the limited information in the passage. You also need to have the skill so that you are able to eliminate your own opinions. Remember the trick of the trades that I have mentioned in you, apply it in your mocks. You still got 14-15 days from henceforth. I hope this helps. I'll see you in the next.